Come on, stop. Hey guys, it's your girl Unique B on the Broke Bitch podcast, casting pods and all that good shit. I know y'all wonder where I've been, but I've been trying to regroup, revamp everything. So you can catch me on the Broke Bitch podcast, and then some of them will be uploaded to my YouTube. Today, I have my friend Seti, and today's topic is going to be child support. Cedric, is this a topic you know a lot about?
It's a topic that I'm pretty familiar with.
Okay, so my first question regarding child support: do you feel that what should be the limit for child support?
A limit?
You know, it's based on income,
yeah,
right? And when you have a kid, you are 100% responsible. You know, I don't do that 50-50 shit.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are 100% responsible, even if the kid is living somewhere else, even if you make more in the household, if y'all were splitting everything 50-50, would you be technically, in regards to the child, required to pay more?
Well, first of all, I want to start out by saying that child support is more than about the financial responsibility.
Agreed.
So when it comes down to the betterment of the child, it's what's best for the child. Yeah, it's also in accordance to who the child is living with, who the child resides with. So I mean, if the child is with the parent, one of the parents 20% of the time and the other one's 80% of the time, like, what's the 50-50 in that? Like, that's not 50-50 right there. So
what I'm saying is, if you make more, but you still have to live, you still have to do everything, and it is about the child. But they say, oh well, you need to pay $2,000 a month.
I mean, what about my cost of living? Like, just because I make more doesn't mean that my cost of living is, like, you know what I mean? Like, I might have a higher rent, a higher mortgage, I might have a higher car note, I might have, you know what I mean? Like, so it's not even a matter of that. Like, I think it comes down to, like, really making decisions. It comes down to what the child really needs financially. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to daycare, what's the average cost of food every day, clothes, you know what I mean, things of that nature. And once we can find out, like, what the...
Okay, do you think that the mother of your child, do you think that her lights, her car note, her insurance, and those things should be included in that? And the reason I ask this is because I don't know if you guys keep up, but like Chris Brown, that's a person who is always being hit for the child support. And I hear these numbers, and she's like, oh, well, it's going from 5,000 to 10,000. I'm thinking, first of all, you know, I follow him on social media, and he has his daughter a lot. If he doesn't, his mother does. So I'm like, whoa, where would she spend this astronomical? And then when he has her, from what I see, he's buying her other things. Right. And I get that she may be accustomed to one way of life. However, if he's already providing that way of life on his own,
then shouldn't he have custody? Shouldn't he have custody? Like, if he's the one, like, providing, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the breadwinner, I'm the this, I'm the that. Like, I'm always with my child. I'm providing the means so that she can go to school, get private lessons, all this. But, like, why is she with the mother all the time if she can't even provide a certain level of living?
I do think, personally, I think that children should know both parents.
Of course.
But what I'm saying is, if the courts say, hey, you have full custody, whether it be because of tour dates or the other person's occupation, my question is, okay, so that's set in place, right? And when you're here, you have toy Bentleys and Ferraris, and you're doing A, B, C, and D. So if I say, yeah, you're giving $5,000 a month, however, my cost of living has gone up, so I want it to become $20,000. Is that
That's
fair?
outrageous. That's outrageous because I mean, like that's
Well,
your cost of living. Like,
it is. But what if she says, well, my daughter's living good when she with you. Why can't she live good over here?
I mean, show me the. I mean, first of all, why did the court have to get involved? You know what I mean? Because like court didn't get involved.
You think that should have been a separate conversation?
Court didn't even get involved when we had this child in the first place. You know what I mean? So like, why did court didn't get involved from that? Let's start from there. Second of all, like. If your cost of living went up, then that's your cost of living. You have to find your means of doing that. Like, I'm here for my child, not as a support for you.
Okay. I think that one of our arguments was that she was with the kid all day, and then the other argument came back that she has a nanny. So, do you still feel the same way?
All right, so now you have a nanny now. So now you have assistance. That you have to, that essentially I'm paying for.
Right.
So I'm paying, like whatever, I'm paying for whatever you need. So I don't even understand what the issue is.
Okay. So you think that the amount it is at now at $5,000 totally.
I mean, like if you're showing me receipts that are exceeding $5,000 a month, like yeah, I took her shopping. I took her on this trip.
What particular things?
You know, like she's got camp, she's got after school, she's got this, and if it's not amounting up to a certain dollar amount, then what are we doing?
Okay. What do you feel? Everyday basics. I can tell you what I think they are. I think they are food, shelter, clothing, shoes, and childcare. I believe that
child development,
education, period. Yeah. I think that when it comes to camp, that's a conversation that needs to be discussed when it comes time to sign up for it. And then from there, I think it should be a 50-50 split.
Okay.
Am I wrong in feeling that way?
Absolutely not. Okay.
I think any extracurriculars, and that includes dance classes, sports, whatever, anything you say, okay, well, I feel like this will better our child. Piano lessons, whatever, 50-50 split. Why not?
But that should also be within the agreement of the child support.
Okay. So if we're talking about going up on child support and the easiness of it, do you think that if the father has full custody, should he demand for the mother to pay child support?
It's within his rights. It should be within his rights.
And do you think that any man that does that, do you think it makes him less of a man to demand
that? My personal opinion is that, like, it wouldn't make him less of a man. But I know that there would be prideful men out there that's not taking nothing from their child's mother. Like, you know what? Like, I got my child, I'm gonna take care of it. But of course, there's gonna be some niggas out there that's gonna be like, yo, like, yeah, I got the child, you pay me child support.
Let me go off on a tangent, though. Not really a tangent, but let me get a little bit out of that. At one point in time, within the last, I think, year or two, you had Mary J. Blige having to pay alimony. You had Mel B having to pay alimony. You have, a list of people, even going back to Britney Spears with Kevin. But I think Kevin was different. Kevin was different because he had those kids full time. He did, and even she said he was a good, dad. So, do you think in situations like that, do you think it makes it easier? Do you think that things like that take away from the role of the men, because now the men are like, oh, well, if it was a woman, she would get it, so I want it too.
Yeah, but then that's the attitude that a lot of people are having today. Like, since we've
everybody
want to
be
equal. If everybody come to equality, now it's like, then you're gonna have those dudes that are gonna be like, well, yeah, I want my equality. You know what I mean?
I want to sit at home and get a check. But is it fair when children are not involved? And that's the reason I take Kevin Federline out, because children are not involved. And with Mel B, she had custody of her kids. So.
Wait, but alimony though, right? It's not child support.
But why am I taking care of you? It is like child support.
Because
you've become my child.
Because it's the same
You're getting
thing.
an allowance.
It's the same thing in reverse though. Like if I'm the breadwinner, if I'm making all this money and your cost of living, you've been accustomed to a certain way of living. So yeah, I'm gonna have to still supplement that. I'm gonna have to still take care of you.
Okay, so
for a time.
Bitch, you got a deadline. Okay, but time out because everybody knows I love Mary J. So I have to defend this. Kendu gave up his own clients. She never asked him to. Mm-hmm. You decided to put all this energy and focus into me. Mm-hmm. I never asked you to. So in that case, why should I pay you when you had a flourishing career when we met? Mm-hmm. You know? It's one of those things. Like even the guy that Mel B was with. I feel that in order for you to even get in a room with me, you have to have something.
Mm-hmm. To bring something to the table. Right?
Yeah, I didn't just find you on the corner, panhandling. That would be a different story. I bought your teeth and all this other shit and got you started. You know what I'm saying? I done bought your veneers and shit. That's not the case. That's not what was happening. So that's what I'm saying. In that position where you decide, oh shit, she make more than me. Oh, we get to go here? We're gonna go there? Yeah, I'm just gonna fall back on what I do.
But you got people out there like that, like whether man or woman, like that they found the golden ticket and it's time to put their feet up. You know what I mean? Like, so like yeah, I could be doing my thing. Got a great career, made a good woman that's making way more money than me, and all of a sudden like I'm gonna sit back. That's not the type of person I am.
Right.
But are there people out there like that? Of course. You know, like whether male or female. You know what I mean? You got women out there looking for ball players. You got men out there looking for cougars and.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And that reminds me, I just watched the episode of Strange Love on WeTV. This dude was dating this 100-year-old chick. And yes. And now, since she has passed and left him in her will, he is now living in Florida at a nursing home facility. Got all the cougars. Those are saber-tooth. By the way, they're not cougars anymore. They long in the tooth. So he there just getting it in Florida in a retirement community. Just living it up. 25 years old.
Wow.
Hey, can't nobody get pregnant? And you're on your way out. And Nicole did it.
Exactly. And Nicole Smith did it. I was about to bring that up. Like, so it's to each his own. It's really to each his own. And especially when it comes down to, you know, the financial situation and supporting a child. You know what I mean? Like, it's really to each his own. But, of course, there are those that, like those ain't shit ass baby fathers or those ain't shit ass baby mamas that you need to bring the court involved to be like, listen, you need to pay such and such, you need to pick up your child such and such, you need to have her for her for whenever time.
So that goes into my next question. If the other parent, male or female, is doing what they're supposed to do without being on papers, do you think it's fair to actually go before the courts and put them on papers?
I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I actually recently went through the same situation. You know what I mean? Like,
what if they say, well, it's my insurance because they doing it now, but what if they don't want to do it later?
See, like, I don't even understand, like, what was the whole point in getting involved in the first place.
Okay.
You know? You don't want to do it now, but you do it later, or you want to change your mind later. Like, what are we trying to prove? Yeah, why we even started? You know?
So, you think that as long as they're doing what they're supposed to do, without any nudging, they're volunteering, hey, they're communicating, hey, you know, I may not have it this week, but next week I got you.
It's communication.
As long as that's happening and it's actually followed through with action, you feel
Because when you actually go to the courts, like they actually want you to mediate it yourselves, like amongst yourselves.
Of course, come to some kind of agreement.
Exactly. I mean, they're just there to be like, okay, don't fight. Okay, let's try to let's make this work. That's actually what they're there for, and it's not so much as it's really to understand your rights as a parent, as a single parent, as the parent with or without custody of the child. So a lot of people a lot of men actually are afraid, like there's like, damn, child support, like, ooh, and end up screwing themselves over for not going to find out what their rights are.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It also deters them from even wanting to be involved at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get your child support. I don't even want to be bothered with you.
Right.
Type of attitude. Like, because I've known some people to have that attitude as well.
So do you think that child support can actually make it so that the other parent feels, hey, I paid my money, I ain't gotta be physically present, you getting your check, what more do you want from me? Do you feel that there are parents like that?
Yeah, absolutely. There, and on the other sense as well, like, I get my child support, I don't even have to see or talk to you.
Oh, okay.
I pay my child support, I don't even want to be bothered with you. Like, it's on both sides.
Do you think that child support can hinder, just going back to something you just said, do you think that child support could hinder in that some parents are like, okay, I get my child support, and even if the other parent wants to see the kid, I get my check. I don't care if you see him or not.
Yeah. There's many people like that. There's many women like that. You know what I mean? And through the years, it's made children bitter towards the other parent, not even understanding
everything
the whole situation.
That goes into it.
You know?
And I have to bring this up, and I know that some of you are going to be pissed about me bringing this up, but...
Bring it up. Let's talk about it.
R. Kelly and Drea. Time out.
My jaw dropped. It just didn't drop. I was like, let me hold it up.
Oh, shit. Where the fuck she headed? Drea had a $50 million payout in her divorce settlement, right? Yet, she ran around saying, oh, he didn't pay child support. He didn't pay this. He didn't pay that. To this day, Drea Kelly is worth $40 million. And I know people say she's a dancer, but haven't seen her choreograph $40 million worth of shit. I mean, not in a mean way. No slug. I don't know what she do in her free time. I'm just saying.
They $40 million worth of choreography, though.
So my question becomes, and then you have one daughter who was kind of on the fence, the son, the trans son, who was already upset because of the way that R. Kelly felt about the transition. Do you think that Andrea played a role in the way that the other daughter that's speaking out now feels? And I watched my mother struggle. Your mother got $50 million, boo. My thing, and the reason I ask this is because if you give me a $50 million settlement and our kids are older and getting to a point where they're leaving the house, why I need child support? I got $50 million.
Does she actually have the $50 million?
Her net worth now is, she got paid out.
And what's her net? I mean, that's her net worth, but what are her investments tied into?
Well, you had the money to invest, is my point. At some point, you had that money to invest, which is what is bringing your net worth to what it is now, right? This is not defense of anything. This is strictly a conversation regarding the children of R. Kelly and Andrea Kelly. We're not going to go into how I feel about other things.
Shit.
Yeah. Anywho.
Yeah.
So, seriously, when you get a payout and you accept it, even if it is to you, but you know you have 3 kids with this person, how do you not spend the money on the kids? For me, it's kind of like people who get and I speak on this because it's that time of year, income tax back. But you ain't spend no money on your kids, but you carried them, and they ain't got no clothes, they ain't got no shoes, they ain't got
shit to show.
The fuck are you doing? You get what I'm saying? I think of it in that regard. Now, I think people who know me personally know that I'm not the type to put child support on nobody. I feel like they're my kids as much as they're your kids. That's the relationship that you're forming with them. If you choose to be there, great. If you choose not to be there, great.
Yeah.
If you choose to
That's
pay,
your loss.
awesome.
Yeah.
If you choose not to pay, hey,
great.
Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to have to take care of them. And that's why I believe in 100 and not 50-50. Not, oh, well, I did my part, so now I'm not going to do this part because that's your part.
Yeah, you coming up short.
Yeah, that's not the way it works. That's not reality. But I'm learning that there are a lot of women who would rather act a fool, put those signs up, and not just females. There's some bitch ass men too. That would rather say, "Oh, you ain't shit," and I'm finna take it to social media and say you ain't do A, B, C, and D, and then I'ma sit outside your job with a poster board that say you a deadbeat. Well, even if they wanted to pay you, don't brought the shit to their job. So
now you're trying to embarrass me.
Not only are you embarrassing, but on some jobs they don't play that. You got a woman saying you're not paying. We don't need this kind of.
It's your personal affairs in order.
If you can't get her to leave in 5 minutes, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to ask you
as the both
to
of
leave
you to
the premises. Okay, I'm gonna escort you.
That's crazy, and there are those out there like that.
But to what end? You get what I'm saying?
I'm 36 years living. What I've learned that people are crazy. people are crazy, and especially like in situations that they're not accustomed to seeing or were brought up in. Like if this is a completely new situation for them, you're not gonna know how to act.
True. Well, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for the conversation. But what I really want people to know is that the system was set up, especially in the black household, to take the black man out of the household. And women have been doing it forever and holding people down and making sure that their kids are good. And vice versa. There have been men that have taken on that role with their kids because of things like, if you're an 80s baby like us, the crack epidemic and other things that were just going on in the household to separate. I think that this day and age, if you have a parent that's willing to be there, whether you're together or not, allow that person to be with their child. Allow that person to play an active role and make sure that, you're open to it. Everybody ain't gonna be Will and Jada, because everybody, you know what I'm saying, and Sharice sitting up there playing with, I got my ex over here and my baby mama over here and we taking vacation. Everybody not Alicia Swizz and Mashonda either. Facts. Depends on how that relationship go. However, like said, you have to make sure that you're doing what's right for the child. Period. Bottom line. You decided to lay down and make the child. You decided to keep the child. And therefore, that child has to be your priority. I want to thank y'all. And then don't forget Thirsty Thursday, where I found a bottle of liquor under $20. And then y'all just see what happens. Okay? All right. It's your girl. See you next time. Peace. I can never see this thing.